Hi and welcome everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Fresh Jazzy Sounds. Exciting news, I have another test pressing of an album that is not yet released and that I can share with you. But first, let's put the needle in the groove and start listening to one of the best albums from 2022. At least it is one of my favorites of last year, Momentum by Misha Panfilov. People who know my channel and follow my channel know I'm a big fan of the music that Misha Panfilov creates and makes. On this one he can go in many directions, in this one he goes in the jazz direction and he really hits it out of the park with this one. It was sold out in like 5 days. It was released by Two Headed Deer who pressed 500 copies, which was way too low. But good news, it's getting a repress beginning of this year by Funk Night Records, and I think it will be released at the end of the first quarter. The music itself has a great jazzy vibe. Misha tries to use repetitive patterns to make your mind focus, unlock certain mysteries in your mind, but it's very enjoyable to listen to this album. For the next album we go into relax mode with Amanda Whiting, Lost in Abstraction. She released this album on Jazzman Records. Amanda plays the harp, an instrument you don't see that often used in jazz music. Of course we have the famous examples of Alice Coltrane. She plays it here in a trio setting, which is really beautiful for the harp. The harp is an instrument that gets easily lost between other instruments. Side B, it is in a trio setting. Side A, she is joined by Chip Wickham. He plays the flute and the soprano sax. But I must say my favorite side is side B, where it really focuses on the harp. She's joined together on drums by John Reynolds and Aidan Thorne on bass. And on some songs Aidan plays the electric bass. And that gives a really unique sound. And for that reason I want to sample next on side B, Got It. And for the next album, I feel very lucky. I got another test pressing, this time by Wicked Wax Records. I have to thank Lucas Benjamin for this one. This test pressing, it is pressed, it may be fun to know, on Deep Grooves. This is a very small pressing plant in the northern side of the Netherlands. So it's a complete Dutch album because the musicians are Dutch. The album is from Amsterdam, it's recorded in Amsterdam. And it is recorded during a very special time, Corona, of course, we know it all. But here they took a different way. And there are many albums released during the Corona pandemic where people alone, as there was no way to play in a big group or play before an audience to record music. And this was during the end of the pandemic that somebody got the brilliant idea, why don't we put the musicians together with not a really big crowd but only with invited friends or family. So you get this really intimate atmosphere on the music. It is a compilation, it's all different bands who are playing, but because they are playing at the same venue, it really puts everything together. And I don't want to say too much about it or spoil the surprise. It's released at the end of January and I can sample the next song also for a small part. Last video I also had the chance to share with you a test pressing. It was this one where I could not show you too much, only the first few letters of the title of the album, SKOW. Well, it is now released at the end of December. It was released. Some kind of wisdom was the secret hint for the title. It's released by Fruit Distro Collective, which is a corporation, a duo of Boris and Tristan. I explained already last time, plays the drums and the keys, and Tristan plays the bass. Now I can share a little bit more about the project they did. This is their debut. It was a very special time for Boris. It was, like I said with the previous album, recorded during the pandemic. He was moving, his girlfriend was in labor, so he is becoming a dad, all kinds of things going through his mind. That's also why it's called Some Kind of Wisdom. It made him think about what he has done in the past, what he is going to do, thinking about his life, and coming to the conclusion it's not easy. Something he struggles with is that it is very positive to set goals, to reach goals. They really give enjoyment, but reaching goals also makes you get in a rush, maybe miss things, because if you're just enjoying the moment, enjoying the ride that life gives you, also gives you very much joy in life. So finding that mix is something that is very difficult to balance, and I think that's also the conclusion he reaches. Find a balance in this way. With the next album, we have even more roads. This isn't a new album, but a reissue. A reissue from Candy Girl by Mel Waldron from the 70s. I believe it's originally released in 1975, only as a promo, and reissued in 2016. It's a unique album. You don't see this reissue that often. I saw it in the bins, didn't really know what I was getting till I listened to it, and the sound is amazing. It is so funky, and there's a certain reason for that. Mel Waldron was already, beginning of the 70s, quite funky. He changed his mood a little bit. He was living in Europe, and he met in Europe another band, La Fête Afro Rock Band. I think you know him from their other albums, also very funky albums. Here they cooperate and they created really a monster, and it is a mystery to me why it has not been released fully, only as a promo. Why they didn't release this music completely on an album is a mystery to me, but I'm very happy it has been reissued so we can enjoy the music. For the next album, we're moving in the instrumentation. We are ditching the Rhodes and getting some steel drums instead with the Bacao Rhythm and Steel Band. It sounds like a band from the West Indies. It isn't. It is from Germany. People who know the Macambo band from Hamburg, they will recognize the music. It is led by Stefan Wagner. He has really a talent for different instruments, and he's created many albums that grab back to the 70s. With this album he does a little bit the same, but he's using a lot of steel drums with it, and that really makes it a fun album. And the next album, it doesn't need a hype sticker. The whole album is a hype. It is a guilty pleasure, I must confess. I got it at the end of last year because I couldn't resist any longer. Silk Sonic, Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak, they created a monster of an album. In the beginning I thought it is cheesy, a little bit over the top. The more I heard it, the more I heard the songs on the radio, the singles. As I said, it's a guilty pleasure because this album, it's short, it's sweet, and it puts a smile on your face. like this, the title of this song, Put a Smile. It is fun, it makes you happy, and although it is over the top, I can't resist it. It is a guilty pleasure that I really enjoy. I want to thank you for watching, see you next time, and I leave you with the last song by Silk Sonic.